Inshallah, today we're going to record our achievements, this group, our achievements, what we have done together. Now, me being I have the title of your leader, it is my job to know it's a part of my job, to know every single individual and their unique abilities. Because our target together is to raise the bar of the entire group, not certain individuals only, right? Everybody should rise together, that's our goal. But so as part of my job, I have to know what's Azraf individual ability, what is Yusuf Mahmood, what is Mahat. But for every single person on the team to know individual abilities of every single player, now that's next level. That is next level. If the question was, what was your contribution this year? Very easy to write. What is the team's contribution? Talk about the entire team together. Now that's special. Okay? And there's not even a single person. Only Danny is missing Caballos because he was not here. Every single person has an answer. Some of us have written 6 pages on our achievements. Okay? So for the group to know every single individual's unique contribution, that's something else. All right? We're gonna start from our police station right here. The NPD, the force, Abdullah, my bad. Abdullah will go first, and then Ibrahim, then Abdullah. Start.
Our achievements. Throughout the school year of 2025 and 2026, from September to April, our side, grade 5 to 8, have achieved many achievements. These extraordinary feats being done sometimes by individuals themselves or as a group together. It's insane to think about how far we've come from the past few years to now, and today we'll dive into some of them. Firstly, we need to talk about how it was before here at OMA for the past 2 years. I don't want to get too into it, as me personally, and I'm sure others don't want to relive those memories. All I'll say, it was chaos. Toxicity and after-game drama was everywhere. In class, chaos and no one wanting to learn. This was the state of OMA 2 years back. But then in 2025 to 2026 school year, everything changed. To be completely honest, I don't know what really changed, but I do know what we've done individually and as a team. Firstly, let's talk about individual accomplishments. I'll just run through a list of people who by themselves changed. First, Zanoon changing in class and on the field. Azraf doing a 15 hours on a voluntary project. Abdul Muqeet realizing his main position as being a goalie. Harris overcoming all the negative comments about him being a bad captain and now actually doing outstanding in the role. And second, making the best website I've ever seen for any soccer league. Ihan changing in class. Ahmed and Arham becoming unstoppable in the leadership program. All the captains, students, and staff helping to change the culture. Mahad and Arham's Roblox animation on the story Stitch. Abdurrahman's game that still keeps updating. Everyone's science project that on big scale could actually help theirs. Ahmed and Ibrahim's podcast. Mine and Harris's podcast, and so many more extraordinary individualistic achievements done, not just by grade 7 and 8, but also 5 and 6. Now in a group accomplishments, well, the most obvious is no drama and toxicity after class. After games is completely gone. Some teams can lose 5-0 and still come to class like nothing happened. Also, now in class, everyone is doing the work that needs your brain and imagination to think and work. And seeing individuals do this, the whole class has been rising. Overall, I think things will get even better and there will be many more achievements to come.
Way to go. Ibrahim, bar's pretty high, let's go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Ibrahim and I'm going to talk about the achievements our class has achieved in this year. When we say a class achieved something, what does it mean? Does it mean getting an A+ average, or does it mean that the school gets ranked among the top schools in Ontario? Well, those things are important, but in reality, there's a lot more than that. It's not just academics, it's sports, morals, and overall behavior and culture improvement. Let's dive into what we as a class accomplished this year in all aspects of improvement. We have had such a large amount of improvement, I don't know where to start. First of all, we have had a huge culture change. The reason for that is actually quite simple. People. Not to put last year's grade 8 class down, but this year the oldest class had a better impression on the younger classes. This had an effect on the entirety of the grades 5 to 8. For soccer, we had quite a few changes. Looking purely at soccer skills, we have achieved something you rarely find. You see, normally in any school, you'll find 3 types of people. 1, the ones who perform in sports. 2, the ones who excel at academics. And 3, the ones who are stuck in the middle. What OMA did this year was that the people who were good at sports were encouraged to perform at their studies as well with the OMA Soccer League, and the people who were good at only studies were given the chance to lead their own team in soccer in the leadership program. The ones in the middle were given time to discover their own strong suit. This had never happened before at OMA, and it made the students more confident in whatever they were doing. Behavior-wise, students have learned to collaborate with each other, putting their differences aside to get their work done. We can see this because in our latest assignment, we were assigned partners instead of choosing them ourselves, and not a single student complained. We have had very intense soccer games and resumed class as normal in just 10 minutes, as if nothing ever happened. When we did have arguments and when someone did oppose an idea, we didn't single that person out and ridicule him. We resolved the issue in a civilized manner. We had structured and organized debates in class, not a shouting match. One of the most important accomplishments the students have achieved this year is taking initiative on a project. No matter how difficult a task might be, we will give it a try. At the start of the year, the students went and recorded a little podcast. A little later, we made a whole documentary on OMA, and as the year went on, we then proceeded to produce a commercial, an app, websites, and even a functional OMA Soccer League video game, truly pushing beyond the limits of the school's curriculum. Another key idea the students learned was taking responsibility. The YouTube channel is proof of that. Students managed it while simultaneously managing their studies and sports at the same time. They edited videos, updated the league standings, and just recently started making a magazine. They took responsibility for various tasks and delivered most of the time. But the most important thing by far is that we have learned how to connect our everyday lives to Islam, because Islam isn't just doing rituals. It goes far deeper than that. Allah didn't give us a checklist to complete. He gave us a system to implement so this world could function. Things like honesty aren't just done for the sake of it. They're a strategy to succeed in life, and we as a group have understood that. Now everyone at OMA looks forward to going back to school every single day. Jazakallah.
This year,
Introduce yourself.
I think they know very well.
Okay, start.
My name is Abdurrahman, and I've written quite a lot about the achievements of OMA as a group. So this year, the OMA culture has improved significantly, looking very different from what it was before. We used to have Ihan as an example of a person not putting in enough effort in their writing, and Umar was an example for a person that plays around in class and doesn't pay attention. Now, however, they both improved by a significant degree. Umar's name is up on the wall over there, while Ihan's is on a license plate and also on a slideshow. Another issue that has been resolved 100% is toxicity. Previously, after every recess, players would have been throwing around insults and crying over lost games. Also, the class self-control level has increased. In recess, people used to have random wrestling matches and shoving and pushing. But now, there's more control among us, and people have volunteered to watch the stage for mischief. That brings us to another aspect, where people are willingly doing projects, like making documentaries, making video games, and things like that, or doing personal assignments, like this essay. However, there is still always room for perfection. People still push Brother Fahad's buttons when he gives us classwork, and ask for gym at random times, where it doesn't make sense, like right now. But that shouldn't discourage us. We are able to behave as a whole when unsupervised, and that in itself is a massive improvement. So for every school, there's some sort of culture, right? There's, let's say, a hierarchy. There's the bullies, there's the popular kids, and there's the nerds. So our previous school culture brought a mindset for school that made it look like a boring building, where you had to listen to teachers drone on for hours. No. When Brother Fahad joined, he saw. So, one second. So, few years ago, some teachers sought to change that and motivate the students, like really inspire them to work hard and take school seriously. That change happened successfully with the induction of the OMA Soccer League and the basketball leagues. Now the mindset is to go all in for whatever you do, which is ihsan, simply, and to not cut corners or do the bare minimum. A lot of the thanks goes to Ahmed, Abdullah, and Abham for bringing that change, being the people on the front lines to do so. Also, everyone in the class is finishing assignments and writing essays that usually university level students would be doing, so we're raising the standard very high. This level of intellectual strength isn't usually found in other schools, so I'm also counting that as an achievement.
Jazakallah.
Now, Yusuf Mahmood and his 6 pages. Let's start.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yusuf Mahmoud, grade 8. Achievements as a class in achievements as a class in April 2026. At the beginning of our school year, around 17 grade 7 and 8 students together as a class was more of what we call a mix. From people being known for a specific talent or talents and being who they are. Now we look at our class just near the end of April and wow, things have changed. From the clear effort in class to increasing impact on the field, we as a class are showing what we have got, but how, and most importantly, what have we done. Let's dive into this and see what we have accomplished and then find out how this is happening. Before we dive into this deep topic, we need to start off with a simple yet important question. What is defined as class achievements? In most cases, us humans would usually see being the best in what we do, like all of us students sitting that 100% on that test, like impact is gonna go a long way. You see, achievements are built around one thing, that everyone has the same standard for every subject, sports, work, and if you exceed that standard for everyone, that is an achievement. However, for us, we take it a little bit differently. The way it works around here is that all our students have different standards and different things from the classroom to the soccer field. The reason is because we all cannot score a hat trick in soccer match or get hundreds on all tests, so we each individuals have different standards, and when we all as a class exceed our standards, that means we have achieved something. So now let's get into the achievements, and what better way to start it off with our OMA Soccer League. From grade 5 to high school, 2 7 to 10 minute games contain action, fun, lots of opportunity for kids to prove themselves. There are 6 teams in the league and many more to come as the years go on. Many things have been achieved in this league, from the channel to the culture. Let's dive into it. The first and one of the biggest changes over the last couple of months has been team impact. Near the start of the year, the team usually would have 1 or 2 star players taking most of the shots and using up most of the possessions. But now this is shifting away. You are seeing many players now slowly but surely making a bigger impact for the role they have. So the role, like what they have on the field, and being trusted by the captains. They are stepping up and putting in their effort, their team, regardless of skill level. Regardless if they're like a star or just there. The ones who made this culture happen include Abdullah, Arham, and Ahmed. Some honorable mentions for unexpected and improving impact in the last while have been Hazim, Haris, Ahil, Yusuf Siddiqui, Abdul Muqeed, and Hashim for goalkeeper. Other big names that are improving, you got Ibrahim, Adam, Asif, Ayub Wahab, Mahad, Omar Yusuf Tadani, and much more talent on the way to come, and a lot of other names too can be said. Basically, everyone's improving. Another one of the big things that have been achieved is our channel channel Ome Soccer, called Ome Soccer League. The first thing it has done is achieve 250 plus subscribers, almost 230 more subs than the last channel from a while ago. It contains lots of our school content like leadership, tournament games, basketball, and much more. It also contains interviews of students to get their own opinion of their experience, helping and improving their confidence as time goes on. So in conclusion, the channel has achieved quite a bit, from going to 4K to tens of videos a week. Some honorable mentions to Mahad, Haris, Ibrahim, and Arham for making this channel work. One thing that has been very good going into the year, one thing that has also been really good, not only going into the year, but one thing that has also been really good, not only going to the year, is sportsmanship and taking in a loss. When a team loses, the team does not crash out like crazy and blame their teammates, unlike pre-25-26 school year. The losing team instead talks about the loss, makes adjustments, and gets over it. The winning team also does not showboat and put down the other team. They humbly celebrate a little bit, then also move on like a regular school day. On top of all this, people are also not arguing about calls, and rather they listen right away. Overall, when a team wins or lose, they win a game or lose a game, they do not complain or showboat, but rather soon move on for the next games to come. Shoutouts to all the OMA Soccer League captains for making it happen, and to everyone for properly following along. A big adjustment that was made starting into the season mid to end February was the addition to the newest and youngest team, OMA Sharks. On paper, this team does not look like a top team, and coming to the season, we saw a bit of that. However, they have the most of one thing that can and eventually turn them around: potential. Lots and lots of it. Everyone on that team is willing to play their hardest to win, from Abdul Muqeed to Imran Khan. They also have Ibrahim as their new captain, whose knowledge and tactics have led the Sharks to tie against the two best teams in the league. If they outshot Yellow Diamonds 5-0 that were on target and put massive pressure on the undefeated Red Lions that has not gotten much pressure before, it is clear proof that they're going to improve as the months and seasons go on. However, the OMA Soccer League has not been the only thing that has been achieved in the last while, as the Basketball League was added. For the 4 teams and started to learn how to play as a group. Slowly, people are getting the hang of it, and soon enough it'll get better. People are not complaining whatsoever every Friday from the games if they win or lose. Shout out to Junaid, Azraf, and Yusuf Siddiqui for having good sportsmanship and putting in the effort for their team as captains. Last but not least, what has been achieved by getting better is leadership. There are 3 leaders who draft players in the similar grade and compete with other leaders for a small cash prize. Whoever has the most points will get the cash with points being earned from inside the classroom to on the soccer field. This has a lot of benefits that have been shown in the last while, starting with the leaders. You see, the leaders are switched every 3 weeks to a month, giving everyone a chance to prove themselves, and it has been going well. When someone is a leader, you are seeing them perform better than they usually are, and they are talking to their players, trying new tactics and combinations of players. The beauty of it, you can see that happening all the time with everybody, and nobody's complaining when they do not get those crisp bills, $15. Now let's go to a classroom where lots of things have been achieved, from clean passages to everyone getting involved. It goes a long way from person to person. Every single individual is putting a decent effort in the classroom, along with thought in their assignments. From Ihan's fascinating effort to Zanoon speaking up in class, you can go on forever. The best part, everyone has something they have done in the classroom that had thought, detail, and effort in the best way they can. Let's start off with class involvement and participation. Everyone in this language class takes the information, thinks about it in their own creative way, and shares their thoughts in the best way they can for any assignment. Some are long and detailed, while others are short and powerful. You get to hear everybody's opinion about the assignment, and the amazing thing is, everyone has something unique to share about the assignment, whether it's unique wording, a different perspective together, and relating to real life. Shout out to all the students in class for thinking about their assignments, doing them on time, and sharing to the best of their abilities. That is not all that have been done, as people have also been doing volunteering projects. On top of the work people have from HIFS to math class, they still want to do the projects. From podcasts to brief commercials, people are doing projects that most regular grade 7 and 8 students would usually not do. These projects can take anywhere from 10 to 25 hours of work and are still being done. This shows that people are willing to put in the work for competition and a chance to maybe find their skills and passions. Shout out to everyone who has participated in these competitions, whether you have won it or not. However, that is not the only update inside the squads. We also have created Quran teams. There are 4 Quran captains who first draft teams of 15 to 20 students who are competing to get a prize every couple of months. Every day, each student provides 0 to 2 points based on how they did in Quran class, from behavior to recitation. It not only gives that responsibility for the captains to fill out their sheets, it also motivates the kids to perform much better in Quran. You see, pretty much all us kids do not have too much motivation for the Quran from the rewards of the Akhirah because for us it is hard to understand these rewards. And since we love these prizes, it gives us young kids a reason to work harder. Shout out goes to everyone participating and showing their efforts. Now that you know some big achievements that have happened in the last while, let's talk about how you students at the school are part of it. You may think the achievements have been listed only started or improved because of a few people, but no, you are connected to many of them. Lots of the achievements that have been enlisted involve you in a way, whether it's starting, making the change, or being a part of it. The beauty of it, the achievements you are a part of, you are putting in your effort and showing what you got in the role you are in. So if you only students think you're not connected to these achievements, you aren't performing to the best of your abilities. We know that the people in this school are putting the best effort they can in their role, but the question is why? How come we all are exceeding our standards? The reason is simple, and is because of a reaction like domino effect. As the quick school year went on, one by one, us students were exceeding our standards and raising the bar, whether in soccer, class, Quran, or anything school related. Then us students had a feeling, I want to be part of that, and if my classmates can perform in their ways, then I can. Us students saw our classmates raising the bar. Us students in this classroom saw our other classmates raising the bar. You also wanted to raise the bar as well. You wanted to as well, and all of us have done that regardless of how smart you are or your athletic ability. It is now time to wrap up this very, very long list of tiring list of achievements. Every achievement that was listed here is making an impact on kids in this school, from confidence, sportsmanship, giving extra effort, and so much more. If we look back at the 25-26 school year, you'll see lots of achievements done that us students were a part of and made it happen in a way. 20 years from now, I remember this achievements we have created and continued do because of the change, impact, involvement it has on us, and I hope you inshallah remember it too.
Wow. Wow. Speechless. Can clap. Can you pause it here for a second?
Yeah.